Hello everybody and welcome to Crafting and Cruising. I am not Lisa. I'm not Lisa. I've heard that before. I'm Rodney, and Lisa is in the green room tonight, and she's got me doing a craft in her place. And so I've got one that we've been tinkering around with. You'll understand that a little more in a few minutes. The craft for this evening is going to be using some old shingles, some tin shingles off of an old house. They're probably over 100 years old, and this is what they look like. Not, some people might think they're not very pretty, but a lot of people like this rustic look.
I love them.
And so this is that's what they probably looked like 100 years ago. And then the side that was exposed to the weather and the multiple coats of paint looks like this. The shingles. Hello, Rodney. Is that right?
Yeah, Rodney. She's not on here yet.
She's watching.
I know, but she's not showing up on my.
I know. See, you're always delayed. I got
I'm
the hot setup over here.
You got the hot setup until you swipe them, and then you won't be able to see them.
Anyway, I'm just going to leave them on so I can see them. Anyway, these are tin shingles. We've got a whole bunch of them that came off a house, and like I said, they're about 100 years old. These actually were made in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because they've got a little thing at the bottom.
Rodney said you're frozen again on my end.
Oh, sorry about that. Maybe you'll hopefully get unfrozen. I don't know. Somebody else tell us when you get on. Chrissy Schneider is watching. Chrissy, are we frozen on yours or are we good? These were made in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because they say nougat on the bottom of them. And I looked it up on the Google Man.
And where did we get these?
It says you may have to go out and come back in.
That.
Oh, you said that? Okay. We got these. There was a house that belonged to my sister-in-law's dad that he'd been in for years and years and years. And this, roofs now, they say it's got a 20-year life on the roof. Well, these have probably been on the house for about 100 years. And so they finally decided to put a more conventional roof on. So they took these off of the old home place there around Winchester up in the mountains. So,
Chrissy, can you hear us? Are we frozen?
Mary Lee Tilbooty is watching. Tilbooty, sorry about that, is watching.
Hey, Mary Lee.
And that's a nice name. I like Teal.
Tell me why I'm not on
here. Oh, the reason that Lisa's not on is she hurt her fingers yesterday, and she was closing our garage door manually. And you know how they have hinges on them, and these sections as it goes from the curve and flattens down, there's a gap that closes up. Well, her fingers were in the gap. So she mashed 3 of her fingers pretty badly. So she's trying not to use those fingers too much right now, and she asked me to do a little craft in her stead. Mary Lee says hi.
Hi, Mary Lee. Glad you're here.
So anyway, that's what we're going to be using tonight. And if you have any ideas of different things that can be done with these, type it in the notes or send us a private message. Either way, we're looking for different ideas because I've got a bunch of these. You can imagine how many of these come off of a house. So I've got a lot of these to do stuff with. I've given several of them away, but we got several. Anyway, what I've got in mind tonight is to make a sconce for a candle where you can put a candle in and see the light through some little punched holes in it.
Got you all again, Godness then. Good. She's got us.
One of the little projects that I did in the past, I've done got several of these made up where I took some cedar stumps that had been laying out for 20 or 30 years. I think we discussed these a few weeks ago. And I cleaned them up real good and was making some little wood sculptures out of them. This is one, I was talking to Lisa today, and we were doing something that required things to look a little more elegant than just an old piece of wood. So I said, well, what if you painted it gold? So I took one of them that I had made, and it was good, clean wood, and it had a clear finish on it, and I painted it with gold paint. So this is what it looks like now. Nice and shiny gold. This is kind of a rose gold paint that I put on there. So I got this nice little sculpture looking piece.
That's pretty.
It is kind of shiny. So
kind of odd for a piece of wood, though, I think, to have.
I don't think of wood as
gold
being gold like that. So I think it'd look good with some black trim of some kind, but I haven't given much thought to it. I just did this afternoon.
So y'all can share ideas.
Yep, lots of ideas would be good. Put that back down there. Anyway, these little pieces of tin. Tara Grogan Bland is watching. Hello, Tara.
Hey, Tara. Very cool looking, Mary Teal says. Mary Lee Teal says very cool.
Okay, I see that. Thank you. It's a little bit different. You don't see that much gold wood unless you go to Donald Trump's house or something. And you probably would. Everything's gold there.
You probably would see wood.
Yep. The
Would
Black
see gold.
Farmhouse is watching.
Who?
A Black Farmhouse is watching.
Black Farmhouse. Well, hello and welcome. I'm glad you're
Yeah, I don't
here.
think I've seen the Black Farmhouse
I
on
don't
here
think
before.
I have either, but I sure am glad you're here.
Welcome, Black Farmhouse.
Hope you'll
Tell
give
us-
us a follow.
Tell us your name and what state you're in so we'll know who we're reaching out to.
Y'all, we're only about 23 away from hitting 1,000 followers. So I am super excited. If y'all would share this out to your family and friends and get us up to 1,000, that would be a real celebration for us.
Good milestone. Mary Lee, it's a Southern name. Okay.
I love it. Mary Lee. So you go by Mary and Mary Lee, not
I was
just
really
Mary.
talking about the teal.
Well, that's my favorite color is teal.
I
So
like Mary Lee too, but the teal was then
Yeah,
I
that
guess that
is.
was her. Could be a last name that's tagged
is
on.
that
there.
your
I don't know.
maiden name, Mary Lee?
Might be. She may have two more names. Who knows? Anyway, so in order to make,
Yep.
well, let me just say about these pieces of tin. It's going to be kind of a noisy because I may even do some hammering where this is over. So Lisa suggested I do a lot of that ahead of time because hammering on lives might not be the best thing. But the
So
way,
what I would suggest is you put your if you see Rodney getting ready to hammer, just mute.
or just
you can
hold,
keep watching, but just mute the sound.
or just hold your ears.
Well, I think it'd be easier just to mute the sound.
I might fake them out every once in a while. Just grab a hammer and see how many people mute.
No.
Mickey Hopkins is watching. Hey, Mickey.
Mickey Hopkins, my sweet friend, how are you?
Mate.
Till is her maiden name, Rodney.
Okay. I thought that might be the case.
Yep.
Pieces of tin. They have they interlock. They've each, like this one has a, turn it this way. It's got a certain geometry there where they put a form in there so that you can slide one piece into another and they actually interlock so water won't go between them when it rains. So the way it works is one has a slot and the other one has a little tab that goes in it. You put them together, and when you get them just right, when they're new, they're nice and straight. These are old and beat up, so it takes a little extra work. The Black Farmhouse says, sorry guys, I'm on my business page. It's
That's okay.
Jana Brashear. I
Brashear.
was on the other day from Kentucky as
That's right.
same as your
That's
daughter.
right. You're exactly
There
right.
you
I'm
go.
glad you came on under your name, and I'm going to hit follow right now on your page. Yes, Jana. Love that name.
You just got a new follower. Good job.
She got a new follower.
Anyway, that's how they go together. So with knowing that, you don't have to, rivet them together, weld them together. If you want to make something, if you want to make a real long string of them, you could add a bunch of them together and they'll interlock. Now they can be taken apart real easily because they just unsnap. But given that idea, what I decided to do tonight was, first of all, I wanted to punch a bunch of holes in them. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, there you
Yeah,
can
they
see
can see
them.
it.
See all the holes in there, the light shining through. So we're going to make a little sconce to go with a candle inside, and when you turn the lights down, you'll have a little pattern showing through. So I just punched the holes roughly where the shape of the little leaf shape or whatever it is on these shingles. So I've got some flat ones, I've got some that are punched, I've got some that I've already put a curve in. Now these are, it's a little difficult to put the curves in. Here's one that it's stiff, these ribs in here stiffen it up, and these are made of steel with a tin or zinc coating on them. I'm not sure back then it could have been tin. They call them tin roofs, but they're really not tin. Most of them are steel metal or steel roofing with galvanized or zinc on them. But these older ones could have been tin, I don't know. But this is one of them that I curved. I took I kind of hammered a little bit on some of these ribs to make them give a little bit easier. And now I just took my hands and shaped this into a curve. So this would be half of the sconce. So then I made another one. These all have the holes in them. See if we can get some light coming through it there and show it. Oh, there we go. Little punched holes. Now, the hard part's going to be, oh, Mickey says she loves the tile. All right.
Me too, Mickey.
This is what's tough. Getting these to actually interlock where they've been kind of banged up and stuff over the years. These are not, these little things are not spring chickens. They've been around for a long time. So I'm going to clean some of the stuff out of the grooves here. Screwdriver. Off camera, it looked like.
Oh, I can see using it.
I was just trying to put them together backwards. That's not going to work at all. All right. See where they're interlocked there? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, or maybe I should turn the camera down just a little bit. I'll hang on to everything here.
Yeah, I think down would be good.
My assistant is tied up with something right now and can't do this camera work for me. All right, here we go. We're gonna, this seam is the same seam. Most of you are probably never put together a stove pipe before for an old wood stove or something, but they work the same way, except they're bigger and they can send them out in the flat, and then you bend them together and interlock this seam to make a piece of stove pipe. So that's the same lock seam that's used here.
Vicky's asking where you got them again.
Oh, Mickey came in later. I got them from an old house that my sister-in-law's father lived in, and the house had been built for over 100 years, and this is the roofing off of the house. And it was made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's got a stamp on the bottom of it that says Nuga, and I looked it up online, and it talked about an old company that existed 100 years ago, and I don't think it lasted very long. I seem to remember that it was in business for a while and then finally went out of business. But these because I imagine a lot of companies got into the roof shingle making business around the same time, and you know how it is, just like with any other business. When something gets popular, everybody gets into it, and then at some point the competitors weed out the smaller ones, and bigger companies end up taking over or buying them out.
The Black Farmhouse said, I bet you found some cool stuff at that house. We didn't go to the house. Tell them how we got them.
We got them actually when my sister-in-law was assisting with getting the roof redone, and they took them off. She told the roofer that she wanted to keep them, so she kept them for a few years. They filled up a couple of barn stalls with them, and then they got some horses and they needed the stall space, so my brother said he was going to need a place to get rid of some of them, and I told him I'd take some of them. So I took a lot of them, he kept some of them, and so that's how I ended up with them.
And I was thrilled to death.
Yep. Now I've got them loaded in one of my trailers, so it's occupied one of my trailers now for about a year, but makes pretty good storage space, I guess.
I gave some of them to Chris Hunter and some to Debbie, the Studio MD, some to Royal Funky Junk, some to the Crafty Brother.
Yeah, it's kind of like business cards.
I think I gave some to Beth with Kindle Blessings too.
Now this is not wanting to cooperate because everything is not flat anymore. Plus I'm trying to put it together. These are supposed to go together flat, not curved, so every bit that I've done here is kind of added to it. So y'all, this is where you see the hammer. This is where Lisa said hold your ears.
Yeah,
I'm going to hammer a little bit. Now, does anybody know what a tinker is? You may not have heard that if you had your ears covered, but there we go.
So the question was, does anybody know what a tinker is? I don't.
You hear people say, I was just tinkering around.
Well, I've heard that phrase, tinkering around, but I don't know what a tinker is.
But there is a occupation called a tinker.
Anybody know?
And it's not Tinker Bell. Where'd you get them? I bet you found some good stuff.
Yeah,
no,
where is it at? I'm watching.
Oh, Lisa's keeping up with it.
So tell us what a
Y'all
tinker is. I don't
could
think
reach through the phone. Y'all could help me put this thing together because it's not cooperating. What is a tinker? Creation Station is watching.
Hi, Creation
Debbie Harris
Station.
is watching. See,
Thank you for joining us.
Lisa's getting behind on her work over
No,
there.
I'm not. They're not showing up on mine, as you know. As you well know, the comments just kind of show up where they want
Hold
to.
your ears. See the hammer again. Oh, man, I blew it. Here we go.
Hey, Debbie Harris. Tinker fixes utensils, she said.
Yeah.
Is that
One
right?
of the primary things they did years ago was they would fix pots and pans. If you got a hole in your pan or a ding or something, they would take their little hammers and could actually make pans and different things. Oh, yeah, it's going. There. A lock seam. Designed for a flat piece of shingle, now basically making a pipe.
And if y'all have any other suggestions of things we can do with these, we have a lot of them. I want to put some on the outside of my art studio, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I think it would be fun to make some more crafts. Haven't quite come up with an idea yet.
I'm rounding it up, trying to make it more circular. Because it's, for a long time, it's been a shingle. Before that, it was flat material. They ran it through a die and shaped it into a shingle, and now we're repurposing it into something else.
My Grammy was a walking Webster's dictionary, Debbie said. That's awesome.
All right, so now we have a little sconce here. It's already got the holes punched in it. Here is its sister with no holes punched in it. And now I'm thinking about, what's doing here? Okay. I'm thinking about, to make, rather than just sitting up on that raw edge, I'm thinking it might be better to cut it and bend the edge out. And then I have something I could attach it if I wanted to. So that's what I think I'll do. Now I bought these, let's see. You have any 1/2-inch tape? You don't, do
right in front of you, there's 2 rolls of white tape. One of them's real wide, and I think the other one may be 1/2 inch.
this is 3/4, but I probably do. So I'm just doing this because I didn't want to measure it necessarily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a notch in the metal. We'll go with about a 1/2 inch. Just eyeball it around there.
Y'all could see the way I look today, you would understand why you're not seeing me.
She looks fine. She just stopped telling y'all that because she didn't want
She
to get on
does
camera.
not. She looks awful. Will you hang them? Mickey's asked.
We could.
Yeah, we sure could.
Hadn't thought about that. We have to put a bottom in them of some kind to hang them, and then you do need to be able to get in and out to light the candle.
Well, we would probably use battery-powered candles, I think.
Okay, we don't need to light the batteries in.
No.
I'm going to cut notches in the bottom of about every 3/4 of an inch up to my mark. I mean, this was just to give me a place to go to. Oh, these are some nice little snips I bought Lisa. Most of my snips like this are straight, but these are offset. They got the jaw turned up at an angle. Makes it a little better for cutting a lot of things. These are the green handles are right-handed cuts. The red handles are left-handed cuts. If you are ever looking for snips, so little known facts there.
And I love those. They'll cut anything.
And the, are you seeing these? Are you talking about your other?
Oh, you're talking about the ones you cut in the tin with? Okay, I was talking about my other ones that you got me.
Yeah, I got her another pair. I'm always buying my wife tools so I can use them.
He won't let me use them by myself, but he buys them for me.
And if you have some of these that have yellow handles, they're for straight cuts.
I use remote control handles outdoors, Debbie Harris said. That's a great idea, Debbie. Great idea.
Yep. There's one place is going to be kind of hard because it's got the lock seam in it. I'm not looking up right now because I have to kind of look down to see where I'm cutting. So,
wish you lived closer. I would buy 4 for me. Well, Mickey, we can send you some, dear. Hey, Mickey, are you coming to Dina's event? I thought you were.
Yeah, we can ship them. They stack real well. You can. They're kind of heavy, but we can.
No, you're not coming to Dina's event. Okay.
So, take the masking tape off. Now I don't have I've got a bunch of different kinds of pliers. The best thing would be some about 1/2 inch wide, thick, flat nose pliers to do this, but I don't have any in here, so I'll just use some needle nose to do it. Rid of that. So see what I did? I cut a 1/2 inch deep all the way around. So now I'm going to turn these flaps up. That's going to give me a little flat base for it to sit down on. Okay. Here's the pliers Lisa was talking about.
Love them.
They're pretty heavy duty. So with this, you go nose of your pliers as deep as the cut, and then just give it a little bend.
Of course, I probably can't be trusted with those pliers right now because I don't think I can be trusted with anything if I can't pull a garage door down without smashing fingers.
Yeah.
Y'all, I went to get my nails done today because we're going to my daughter's tomorrow, and we'll be there through Tuesday, and then we come home, and then I turn around and go to Dina's event, and so I needed to get my nails done. That was a absolute, no lie, torture chamber. I was almost in tears. A couple of them she couldn't like really fix like I wanted them fixed because the nail had been split from the accident yesterday. And I had to keep reminding her, don't squeeze, that hurts. And she kept saying, I'm sorry, I forgot. Whew, it was rough.
Now, here's the seam. Now, a seam like this has got up to 5 layers thick the way a lock seam works. So,
I will, Rodney, I'm trying.
So I'm going to have to cut some of these out because if I try to bend up 5 layers, it's not going to end well. So I'm going to try to snip these off. See if I can snip 5 layers at a time.
Mickey, if you want to send me your address, we can find out how much it's going to cost to ship, and then I can let you know.
If we send them ground and don't try to overnight them or anything,
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
But if we're going to get you some of them, we got to have some idea, some ideas for us to use them. So you have to supply us with ideas.
What if she wants to make something and not tell us her idea?
Well, she doesn't have to tell us, she could give us the bad ideas and she keep the good ideas. But everybody's got to have an idea.
Y'all see how he plays this game?
That's right. We gotta get something for this.
Not gonna give it to you totally free. Gotta come up with an idea. That was him. Y'all just remember that. That was not me saying that.
There we go. That's got kind of one little rough spot there.
Yes, I would be interested, Mickey said. Okay, just send me, private message me your address, Mickey, and we'll check on the cost to ship it. It may not be until we get back from Kentucky because we're probably going to leave pretty early tomorrow so we can get there in time to pick our granddaughters up from school and surprise them.
Private message how many you think you want, and I'll weigh count some of them and see what they weigh and all that stuff. And before I send any out to anybody, I try to clean them up because they've got years and years of paint on them. And so I pressure washed a bunch of them the other day, and they cleaned up pretty good. That's what these are. They've still got rust. They've still got some galvanized. They've still got little bits of silvery paint every now and then.
And y'all, I think they would look cool to patina them, you know, to take like a turquoise color paint and just kind of dry brush it on there, and then maybe dry brush again with like a burnt umber or a walnut color and wipe it back. I think they would be so pretty with patina like that. Rust is good stuff, like Farmhouse said. Yes, it is. I mean, I've done projects. I did a project recently when I was on my craft weekend with some of my friends. I deliberately rusted some tin cans, vegetable cans, to use on a little mat board that I had, and then I used, what are those things called, Ronnie? Shims. I used shims and went all the way across the back of the mat board, and then I took those 2 vegetable cans and I rusted them and hung, or actually 3 vegetable cans, hung them across the mat board by clothespins, and then put dried flowers down in them. And it's really a cute, very inexpensive way to make a cool. You could hang it on your door if it didn't get a lot of moisture. You could, you know, use it in your kitchen. You could. It's a real simple kind of farmhouse creation.
There we go. Down to the last few. Probably be a good idea to make a little wooden base for this to go on.
Did you take a picture of the charcuterie board you made?
I did, but it's not in a, you know, it's sitting in the kitchen. I think it would look much better either sitting on a table or on a black background or something, because it doesn't really.
Did you take the picture after you put the oil on it?
I did take one that way, yes.
I want them to see it. He made a charcuterie board for the meet and greet we're doing, you guys. It is massive, and it's beautiful. What kind of wood did you use for that?
I used walnut.
Oh, so pretty. I'll have to pull it up on his phone and
About 2 or 3 years ago, we had
hand it over there.
a walnut tree. Our neighbor was clearing off some land and had a walnut tree that they took down, and it had, there was at least 9 or 10 feet that was good clear wood with no limbs or anything on it. And he was about ready to push it up into a brush pile and burn it. And I said, well, not if I'd have that log. And he said, no, help yourself.
Would love to see the board farmhouse said. Is your phone handy by you?
Yes.
Hand it
Anyway,
to me and I'll look it up.
I got got the log from him, and
Where's your phone? Oh, right here.
I got it right here.
Oh.
And took it to a sawmill and had it sawed up into. The main thing I was after was we were wanting to replace our mantle in the house. So I had them saw up a board that was 14 inches wide, 3.5 inches thick, and 8 feet long for our mantle out of walnut. And it ended up being about 9 feet long, but I sawed it off and
Really pretty.
ended up having to cut it down. The planer I had would only go to 12 inches, so we had to cut it down to 12 inches. And made a real pretty mantle for us. And then I had the rest of the logs sawed up into 1 inch thick by anywhere from 14 to 16 inch wide boards. And I had a whole trailer load of those. So I've been making all kinds of fun projects out of walnut, which seems like kind of a waste. It's such a nice wood, but I've been building all kinds of stuff out of it. And this bed that I just finished up for my granddaughter is made out of red cedar, which is also very pretty. And it was really hard for me to paint it because, you know, I like the way cedar looks by itself.
Me too.
We ended up, she wanted her bed painted, so now she has a white bed made out of red cedar.
So it's not really a bed he made. She
Right.
wanted a house over her bed, y'all. She just turned 10. And she called and she said, Lolly, I really want a house over my bed. Do you think Pop would make that for me? And I said, well, you just have to ask him.
So
she asked him, and he, of course, obliged.
This is just a slice of wood that I grabbed out of the basement that we've been using for some bases and stuff. So I thought something like that on the bottom might work out. But I'm not sure about these little edges, how I would deal with that, because you need them. You need to be able to get, well, if you're going to put an electric candle in there, then you can turn it on with leave a little switch on the outside. You could go ahead and attach this and put some trim over it or something.
Especially if you're going to use the
make it look pretty.
The candles that you remote control candles.
Yeah. So you want to see a picture. We need to get more up to date where we can just put a picture on there, not show a picture on a camera. You know, that's.
I know, y'all. I promise soon we're going to take pictures of all the projects that we've done lately. I'm so bad about that. And I told my assistant that's leading you tonight that was going to be his job. One of his jobs from now on out is whenever a project is complete to take pictures of it so we can go on and post it, because I'm terrible about that. And I love to take pictures. So I don't know why I'm so bad about it. But on my own stuff, I guess I just want to create.
Y'all may have to zoom in a little bit to see that clearly.
Yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy. Can you back up just a little bit?
There.
I'm delayed a little bit. See how it probably doesn't look as big on there as it is in real life, but when I came in the kitchen a while ago and saw it, I was like, whoa.
It's about 4 feet long and maybe a little over about a foot wide, and it's got a double-decker thing on it, and then I put a little piece of wood sculpture on top of it to accent it a little bit. A little piece.
A little piece on top of it. She said that is just gorgeous, what Farmhouse is.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be making more charcuterie boards using some of that walnut that I've got, and I've seen them with they'll take like blue, different color, marble colored resin, and like fill in cracks and stuff, or just do a wave looking pattern on them. So I'll probably make some of those.
Are you going to sell those?
If I make enough of them, I will. The first ones, I know if I make them, they get to end up in our kitchen and places like that. But I'm trimming the sconce's toenails right now. They needed a pedicure. All these sharp corners sticking out.
So what's an artifact you would tell people maybe related to this project, this kind of project?
An artifact. Well, I've already given them some little artifacts about the use of tin snips and which ones are right-handed and left-handed.
That's true. Y'all, that's what we're going to call that little segment that he wants to do each live. I checked with my art teacher because that's what she used to call all of her pertinent information for watercolor. She called it Arty Facts, ARTY-FACTS. And she's not teaching as much anymore, and I contacted her and said, would you mind if we use that? And she said, I would be honored. So, won't necessarily always be art, maybe craft related, but arts and crafts, I think, kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they're all arts. So, that's got the bottom trimmed up. So there's a little sconce.
Are you going to put the candle in it and let him see it lit up?
Is this an electric candle?
It is. Would you like for me to turn off the lights?
I mean, it really looks real. It also looks like it's got a dead battery.
Well, I guess I won't be turning off the lights then.
Nice candle. I mean, it really looks real. I thought maybe you'd accidentally got me a...
Would you like for me to go grab another one in the house?
Nah. Let's see.
It might be pretty for them to see.
It's got $4 worth of batteries in it. It ought to be running.
All right, I'm going to go get batteries.
All right. I'll think of something else to say in the meantime.
Ask them for ideas of craft they would like to see.
Yeah.
And talk about our Telegram, because remember there's going to be a giveaway of a watercolor, and I'm going to pick a date soon of when I'm going to do that. So
sign up for Telegram.
Download the free app if you don't have it already.
And when she gets back, I'll tell you how to do that. Because she's going to the house to grab a new candle. and we'll see if this actually lights up. The thing with these candles are not very bright, so I don't know how much it's going to shine through those holes, but we'll give it a shot. And it might be that it would need more holes in it than what we've got. But it's kind of a weird looking thing. You know, people are going to see that. And, you know, if you like stuff really rustic, it'd be good. But if I were doing it, I would put some clear coat on it because I like things shiny. And I might also do something different with the top. It's a little open for me. I might cut some tapers in it and bring it in and make it make all the points where you just shape it together like that at the top. That'd be good. So, but if somebody saw this on Etsy or something, they would be hard pressed to know right off the bat what it was made out of. And yes, it is unique. Than just rust coat. I think it might. Anyway, that is the sconce. So I ended up, we got a couple of them. I guess I could go ahead and do this. Put the bottom, here's our candle lady back already.
This is not very bright, but
yeah, that's what I'm concerned
it's a
about.
battery powered candle. So we shall try by turning off the lights. Let me turn off this big one.
Don't get me in the dark here. Anybody in there?
Didn't show up very much.
Barely shows up.
We'll have to have a taller candle.
Yeah, that one's barely shining through the holes.
Yep. Oh well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a little bigger source of light. Maybe one of those little LED candles that flickers would be good.
Yeah.
Or those Edison bulbs, whatever they call them.
Yeah, that would be good.
Something like that. That flickering would be good. So anyway.
Okay, Dad, did you go over Telegram? Did you say?
I didn't know how to tell them to go to Telegram other than to download the app.
That's all they do. They go find Crafting and
then
Cruising
they gotta,
and
once
subscribe.
they get the app, they look for Crafting and Cruising. But
And
is it spelled the
subscribe.
same way?
Just like it is on the Facebook page.
No spaces.
No spaces. I don't think, if they put in spaces, I don't think it's going to hurt. They're going to be able to find me anyway.
At Crafting and Cruising.
No, not at on. That's for Facebook.
So it's different for Telegram. You leave the at sign off and just put
Just
Crafting
go in and do a search.
and
Crafting
Cruising.
and Cruising, you'll find it.
Yeah, you got to make sure we get the right Crafting and Cruising. You know, there's probably hundreds of them out there.
I'm sure. And so we're going to do a giveaway. I think by Tuesday of next week, I'm going to announce the date for the giveaway. And the giveaway will be from all the people who have subscribed on Telegram. So it's a Telegram giveaway. It's not a Facebook giveaway because that's against community standards and we don't want to do that. So we will be giving away to someone who is subscribed on Telegram. So that's a good incentive to tell your family and friends too. And then maybe if they win, not you, they'll give you the painting.
Is it going to be a pretty watercolor?
No, I think I'll give an ugly watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a really cool question?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, I know y'all can't see me, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to talk as if you can. Next Tuesday, we will either be en route home when we do our live, or we probably will go live a little earlier because our granddaughter has a game. And then we're either going to spend the night and drive home early Wednesday, or we may just drive on back from Lexington after her game is over. So, I'm thinking that we will go live earlier. What I would like to do is a Q&A with Rodney and I, where as long as it's clean, you can ask us any question you want to ask us, from, you know, how we met, having our children, you know, careers, whatever you want to ask. So, I'm giving y'all warning now to go on and kind of get your questions together. You don't have to give them to me ahead of time because kind of part of the fun, I think, is doing it on the spot. But spread the word. If you see some people that aren't on here that are normally on here, spread the word to them that that's what we're going to do. It'll be we won't be in the RV, so it'll be too difficult, especially after dark, for me to do a craft in the car on the way back. So even if we're driving in the car, we can answer questions. So
Lisa, you just came up with a great idea by yourself there. Good job.
did I?
Yeah.
What was
I've
it?
not seen anybody doing it.
Doing what?
Crafting in the dark.
Okay. So I'll let you be the first one to try that, okay?
I think it'd be good. I think if you could do crafting in the dark and then see what you came up with.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good idea. You have to make sure your scissors aren't too sharp, but
Awesome idea. The Black Farmhouse said, love it. Good deal. Mary Lee said clear coat would look good. Do you think a clear coat?
I do.
I don't.
Penny Bridges Oakley Anderson is watching.
You
know what? People have a lot of names.
I would rather have mine like it is and maybe try to make it a little more patina looking. Okay, yeah. So
Sharon
I want
says hello, Lisa and Rodney.
Hey, Sharon Halverson. Can't wait to see you and hug your next sister. So Sharon, I just told him that next Tuesday we'll probably go live a little earlier than usual because we'll be in Kentucky going to our granddaughter's ball game before we drive 4 hours back home that night. So what we're going to do instead of a craft is we're going to do a Q&A with Lisa and Rodney. So that means any question you want to ask, as long as it's clean, you can ask us. And I think that'll be a whole lot of fun to do. So get your questions ready. I'll send out a telegram. I'm going to announce that night when the telegram giveaway is going to be, so everybody will have fair warning.
Hello, Donna Harrison. Hello,
Hey,
Evangeline.
Donna. And yeah, so I would love for y'all to get your questions together and, ask Rodney and I just pretty much anything you want to ask us.
Lisa, would I suggest something to you?
Sure.
Just to help you out over there. Those are all upside down.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Anyway, just thought I'd help you out there.
So I want you to show them the picture of the house that you made for Kaya's bed, for our granddaughter. This is one of the reasons we're going up there this weekend, y'all, is he made the bed.
Okay, while I've got it, I'm going to re-show them those few people on here now.
Oh, yeah, the charcuterie board.
The charcuterie board I made. This is just a little picture of it. It's about 4 feet long, double-decker with a little wood sculpture on the top. And it's made out of walnut. And the wood sculpture is red cedar. And for the other thing, we've got, close this up here. I went to Florida yesterday for a day. So I've got some Florida pictures in on top of these other ones. Where is it? Where is it? So, here's a little footstool that I made.
Yes. And it opens up so he can store in it.
Yep, it opens up like a footstool should, to leave a place to put stuff. And Lisa is busy decoupaging the inside of it right now. Now the other thing is this. It's all in my cluttered up basement. But this is a little facade to go around a bed.
Nice, Rodney, Sharon said.
The bed posts fit right in the corners. The bed's going to be raised up about 8 inches. We got some blocks to go into the corners inside those legs.
Y'all see the windows?
It's got a window on the side and a window on the front. And of course it's backwards, but it's a mirror image of what you're seeing there.
That's so cute.
And it's got the little facade roof on. That's just showing bare wood, but we already painted the roof, and probably will make it even more look like a roof with some shingle looking stuff.
Well, it's just got a base coat on it because she's going to help me paint it whatever color she wants her house to be when we get there. So that's kind of her birthday present from her pop and I.
Yep. She's going to love that. It says Black Farmhouse. What was your name? I forgot Black Farmhouse's name. And Donna Harrison said, beautiful.
And
Kim.
Penny said you
Hey,
can
Kim,
just call
how you
her
doing?
Penny.
You have to go back and watch the beginning part of it, Kim. Kim was one of my classmates in high school. Rodney said, fantastic. Mary Lee Teal Bodie said, that's awesome. So,
Okay, Kim Bonner, here's what I want to tell you. Y'all, he just told you he went to school with her. Kim, next Tuesday, Rodney and I will probably be on earlier because we'll either be in Lexington or en route back from Lexington from our daughter's ball game. And it's going to be a Q&A with Lisa and Rodney. I am certain that you have some stories that you could share with us about Rodney in school.
Kim, you better not, because
So,
I got some on you
Kim,
too.
we need for you to be in there. No, Rodney is not allowed to say anything back. Kim can share whatever she wants to.
Kim,
This is my page. I'm making the rules.
Kim knows better.
So, Kim, you can say anything you want to about Rodney, because I'm sure there's a lot I don't know that I probably do need to know.
Now, see, she's not even commenting.
She said, ha ha. No, I'm serious, Kim. This is a good time for you just to let it all out.
There's really nothing to tell.
Oh, you're right,
is there,
right.
Kim?
Mr. Polly Pure. Y'all don't believe that, do you? Okay, y'all. Is that all you have, Rodney?
I think so. Kind of a short session. We didn't quite go an hour tonight, but
Tell them what you're going to do soon about the glue project. So
oh yeah, I've figured that there's a lot of people doing crafting and stuff that using glues for wood glue and crazy glue and all kinds of different glues for stuff. And I thought it might be helpful if I did a little testing on different kinds of glue under controlled conditions, see which ones are stronger than others and which ones set up in a certain amount of time. So I'm going to do a design of experiments and go through and try to make it where it's not really boring, but we'll do some break tests and stuff. I've got a little gauge that we can use, and we can check the tension that different things break. So I'm going to put that together, but I'm going to try to spend a lot of time ahead of time, get a lot of things done rather than bore you with the assembly parts of it, and try to make it interesting. So
try
if you
not
have
to give you a chemistry lesson. In other
try
words.
not to give you too much of a chemistry lesson. But if you have ideas about your questions about certain kinds of glue, what they're used for, or anything, or suggestions of a glue I should do some testing on, let me know in the comments, or send a private message would be good, and we'll take a look at it. I've already bought a whole sack full of glue. I've got super glues and a couple kinds of wood glue. Super glue is the cyanoacrylate, isn't it?
Oh, excuse me.
And
What was that? The cyanoacrylate.
The crazy Gorilla Glue, when it first came out, was just one kind of glue, and now they make several kinds. So a lot of people say Gorilla Glue, and nobody knows which type they're talking about. So
y'all, there will be a test at the end.
There will be a test.
Cyanoacrylate, whatever that means.
Tell your favorite glue or something when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's all we got today. If you got any prayer requests or anything, you can PM them to us, and we'll put them on our list with other people.
And I think you all have been praying for my friend Vicki. She had her first radiation treatment yesterday. I tried to call her today and didn't get an answer. It was supposed to be real high doses of radiation. She's going to get 5 times. Yesterday, and then this coming Friday, and then next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So continue to pray for her. Also, you all, most of you all on here know that the people we were camping with last weekend, the lady that hosted, her son was in a terrible, terrible motorcycle accident, and he remains in the trauma unit at Vanderbilt with multiple broken bones. He's got a temporary, if not permanent, colostomy. Anyway, he took a turn for the worse over the weekend. He has pneumonia. They're having a hard time finding out where the infection is. And his fever doesn't go below 102. And this is a 50-some-odd-year-old man. So they are very, very concerned. His son broke down today, I understand, for the first time. So it's not easy to keep hope up when you take turns like that backwards. So his name is Mike. If you'll just pray for Mike and his family, that God will work a miracle. Be with his mom, Christine. She's our friend that we camp with. So please keep Christine in your prayers. And then our friend Barbara Poston, who's a friend of this page, desperately needs our prayers. Her son and her husband have tumors that they're hoping to keep at bay. And then they have a grandson that they are raising that is having some real difficult times right now. So if you will keep Sweet Barbara, she wants to be on the page, but y'all, her mind is not on crafting right now, and I certainly understand why. So I told her that we would all keep praying for her. So anybody else, feel free, like Rodney said, to personal message us, or remember I told you the email address is craftandcruise@gmail.com. Spell out the word and I will, check that often and see that if there's any prayer requests. I do think it's a privilege and it's my honor to pray for you guys, and so I would love to do that.
All right. Signing off. Thank y'all for being on the page.